Now join me as I tell you a little bit of information about open burning, some safety tips, as well as what the ordinance for the city of Berkley is. On this segment of Behind the Badge, we want to talk about some other issues, not just general fire safety. We want to talk about some nuisance issues which really affect the quality of life here in the city of Berkley. Now, as some of you are aware, or some of you aren't aware, that we do have a local ordinance that really is quite plain. It prohibits any open burning. But the part of the open burning, as you can see, is we have fire, and you might be wondering, well, how do we have a fire right here? Open burning, really, the ordinance consists of anything that's going to be a nuisance to anybody as far as the offensive odors. That being the wood burning, any rubbish that you may want to burn, any building materials, that is all strictly prohibited. And if you were caught or have been reported to be open burning in the city of Berkley, you could be fined with a fine up to from $100 to $250 for your first offense. Now, you can imagine in the summertime, it gets hot. A lot of people, a lot of the residents have air conditioning in their homes. They have their windows shut. But when it's nice out, some people with air conditioning like to have their windows open. Others don't have air conditioning at all, and on a hot summer night, they want their windows open as well. Now, the last thing that they want to do is be laying in bed having that smell of smoke. That causes a couple things. It causes some health effects because, as you know, most smoke, pretty much all smoke, is cancer causing in some fashion. It has little particles in there that can get into your lungs. It can cause other affected illnesses such as asthma. It could prompt an asthma attack for asthmatic people. So that's one concern we have. Another concern we have is if you're laying in bed and you smell that smoke, you could think that your home is on fire. We've had numerous calls each year, each spring, summer, and fall, that residents will call in that the garage is on fire or house is on fire behind them, and we'll activate our systems to get all our emergency personnel going, causing us to get to the scene fast, which turns out to be an open burn and most likely a false alarm. Now, it's not a false alarm that it was an open burn, but it's a false alarm that here we are thinking it's a house fire and we're trying to get all the resources we can as safely and quickly as possible. So that's one effect that we do have. Another problem that we have is, you can see this has a mesh grate on the front and back of it. It's completely protected. This is made from a material that allows me to touch it. Now, some other types of burn pits are a round burn pit that you could get at most hardware stores in your local area. The problem with them is they're not going to let you know that you can't use them in the city of Berkley, or in fact most cities around surrounding Berkley have the same strict burning ordinance. What you do with them is you burn a log. They may have a cover, they may have this nice grate around it, but it still doesn't stop all the embers and ashes from flying. Now, that's a burn hazard. It could catch a garage on fire, it could catch a tree on fire, but most importantly, it emits all that smoke, or what we consider a nuisance, that offensive odor that'll burn into your house or blow into your house, your neighbor's house, the whole blocks, all the houses. Talking about burning, just like a gas grill, we want to make sure that we use a good, safe distance from trees, objects, porches, your vinyl siding, your garage. You want to make sure that you're within at least 12 to 15 feet away from there. Some manufacturer recommendations for these outside gas fire pits recommend 15 to 20 feet away from garages or outbuildings. So that's something to keep in mind too. So in a second here, I'm going to cook a s'more and just show you how simple it is to cook a s'more with this model, and maybe give you some general safety tips when you're working around something like this. Okay, now for this example here, we're going to cook a s'more real quick. And obviously we want to talk about the poker sharp. I prefer to handle it over the child, okay? They may help you put the marshmallow on the poker, but I'm actually going to do the cooking of the marshmallow, just because I feel it's a safety issue. You know, if your children have long hair, if they have loose clothing, anything that reaches over there could catch fire. So we really want to make sure. So I'll pull my sweatshirt sleeves back a little bit, and I'll start cooking this s'more, or this marshmallow, carefully in the fire. Now, why don't you come over here for a second, Amber? What's some things that we want to talk about when we cook s'mores? Why don't we want kids to do it?
Because they might get on fire.
Right. And what's some safety tips that we can give our viewers at home? What do we want to tell them? What should we be concerned about when cooking s'mores?
Be careful so you don't get on fire.
Right. And what else? What don't we touch?
Fire.
Right. What about the poker? Should we touch that?
No, it might be hot.
Right, because we're cooking marshmallows on. And who should really be cooking the marshmallows? Should the kids cook them?
No, parents.
Right. Or an adult? Or grandpa and grandmas? Or maybe big brothers and big sisters? But we want to be careful, don't we?
Yeah.
You think you're about ready to eat your s'more?
Yep.
Okay.
I want it crispy.
You want it crispy a little bit?
Yep.
Okay. Now a good safety tip is obviously keep your distance. Watch for your s'more to catch on fire. And if it does, just simply blow it out. This is the dangerous part too as well. A hot marshmallow can burn the skin as well. So we want to make sure we use all the caution and do that for the children. We just let it sit and let it cool down for just a second, and then it's safe to eat. Well, I hope this segment has been helpful for our viewers at home to remind them that there is no open burning, remind them that there are concerned citizens out there that, not just for fire safety, but for the nuisance, the smoke, the odors that it gives off. If you'd like more information on the ordinance itself or to read it for yourself, you can visit the City of Berkley website at www.berkleymich.org. And on there's a link of ordinances. You can go to the general ordinances. It'll give you the municipal ordinances for the City of Berkley. And you want to look specifically under the trash and rubbish ordinance. That's where you'll find the open burning clause. And it's going to be section 58-41. That'll be the part where the fire open burning is. For other ordinances, such as scavengers, dealing with the scrap metals and whatnot, you can go to there as well and look up. It's always a good idea to look at the different ordinances, especially if you're new to the city and stuff, so you can keep yourself informed and aware of what the ordinances are for the city. Until next month, we'll see you later.